Ready?
Okay. All right, today we're going to demonstrate the cloudy lens on an Infiniti G35 2003, so it's about 8 years old. The gentleman that's filming is actually his car. And we're taking our damp rag. We're going to put a little bit of polish on it, just about that much. And we'll start applying this. He has tried a couple of products before, which I really noticed on the other lens. And it almost looked like clear coat, but we don't think these are clear coated. And you can already see, just within 30 seconds, that we've gotten a lot of this particular contaminants off of the lens. It was very, very cloudy. This one actually wasn't as bad as the other one. We're going to try the other one next. But I can already see a tremendous amount of difference. He's tried several products. He says they work for a little while, then they get cloudy. And like I said, I just noticed a lot of what looked like almost clear coat on his other lens. And I'll try and point that out when we do the other lens. But let's see what I pulled off in the rag so far. You can see that really gold, kind of dirt looking stuff. And I did forget to wipe this lens. We'll do the other one next and I'll show you. But that's what you're pulling off, is the contaminants on the lens. So I'm going to flip over to another side. Another dab on. Just a dime-sized dollop or a quarter-sized dollop is all you really need. And again, you want to do this in direct sunlight. A hot day is best. You don't have to, but it just makes the work easier. If you need to get some heat generated, you can actually turn your lights on. And that generates heat on the lens also. Now we never know what these have been treated with. It looks like on the side here I'm still pulling off, as you can see, that yellowish area. I'm still pulling off contaminants. There seems to be a lot more on the side, so I'm going to really work at it pretty hard. What will happen as you wipe this, the Acrylic-Werks polish will break down the contaminants, unless of course it's clear coat. Then it takes a lot more work. It takes sanding. But you just do this in a north-southeast direction until you stop pulling that stuff off. And there's still a lot. You may not be able to see this on the film, but there's still a lot left on this lens. It's all on the outside, so it's not on the inside, so you don't have to buy a new lens, but you do have to get this off or you're going to continually have this issue. This gentleman said he's used several products. They look good for a couple days or a week or two, and then they come right back. That will not happen with the Acrylic-Werks polish. It's water-based, non-abrasive, and will leave a clear coat on this lens. You may have to touch it up every once in a while, but it's not going to be something that's going to fade like we just saw with the products he had used. How's it look so far?
Looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, see, I'm still pulling off some yellow, so I've still got work to do here. And again, if you take your time and do it right the first time, you won't be doing this again in the future. It sounds impossible sometimes, but we've done lots of lamps. And again, as long as it's not coated with some kind of special coating, typically clear coating is a difficult issue to deal with. This particular model does not use that particular process, so we're good to go there. I'm going to continue to work on this a little bit longer because I really want this to get back to a like-new condition. And what I'm going to do here is just put some of the polish on here and let it sit for a minute. Again, if it hasn't been, I don't know if this has been in direct sunlight or not. We're not really in direct sunlight, so it's not quite as warm as I'd like it to be. But if you let the polish sit for a minute, again, it'll work itself into the surface and remove that cloudy contamination that's causing the lens to fog up. And you can leave this on for 5 or 10 minutes if you wanted to, but I'm not going to in the interest of viewing time. But I'm going to work on it pretty hard. And I can still see a little bit around maybe the edges, where again, this is possibly the previous products that have been attempted to be put on this lens. That most of them have come off by now. I really saw a lot of it right in here, and it's really kind of removed that, but I'm still pulling up yellow on this cloth. And it doesn't matter if we're getting it on the edges here or not. This product is safe for all parts of this car. So unlike a wax or some other type of cleaning product, it's okay if you get it on the car itself. Still pulling it off, so now I'll just flip the cloth around and let's just see how much now we get off. This is a clean cloth, as you can see here. Just put a dab of the Acrylic-Werks polish. believe we've worked out most of the contaminants, but we'll find out in just a second. I think some down at the very edge here will still, but certainly the top part of it is clean.
Tell you now, looking at this side and that side, this is impressive.
It's 100% different, huh?
Yes.
I'm still pulling off stuff though. You can see there is a lot of buildup of whatever was causing these to be cloudy, and I could work on this probably for a little while longer to get it all off, but I might let this gentleman do his own later on. You can go back and do it, but it's, you know, 100% better than it was when he started, you know, just a few minutes ago. And most of the contaminants that I'm seeing are down on this edge here, on this bottom, and then the side right here. There's still a little bit more there, so I'm going to take a go at it, see if I can get it so I can get a clear wipe on it. We're not using a lot of the product, and again, it does require some elbow grease the first time you're doing this, but you're restoring a light, or a lamp, excuse me, housing that if you had to go buy this at the Infiniti dealer, it would be several $100s. I can just about guarantee you can certainly look that up yourself, but it's a question of spending 5 or 10 minutes on a lamp, or spending $300 or $400 on a new headlamp when you really don't need to. So still pulling off, again, you can see my fingers are applying the pressure, still pulling off contamination. Didn't pull off as much that time. I think it's still on this edge here where there's really a lot. I think we're about done. Let me just try give it one more shot. Just a little application. Yeah, that's much better. Still a very faint amount, but certainly not nearly as much as we were pulling off before. So I can go ahead with the second step, excuse me. And that's just applying a light water sheen to the lamp. I've already got my rag here. It's been soaked in water. Just put a water sheen on this. That sets the acrylic polish. And then you take a buffing towel and you buff it out. We'll take a picture of this after, but I think we basically restored this to almost new condition, and certainly a lot better than it was before. So that's Acrylic-Works on a Infiniti G35 headlamp, and we're done.